Hello for success. And I'm Marian LaSalle, and with me today is Lady Lou. Hey, Lady Lou.
Hi.
She's the baby boomer babe. And Ricki McKenna. Hey, Ricki. Good to see
everybody.
you, ladies.
Hi, Marian.
Hi.
Great to see you both.
You know, today's show is all about clean and clear for a new you. And if you saw our meme, you would know exactly what we're talking about. As a matter of fact, I think I'll just put it up so that you can see. If you didn't actually see it before.
Yes.
How about that, huh?
I love it. I love it.
I love it.
Everybody wants to know, where can they get that toilet paper?
Yes.
Well, you know,
I love it.
They quit making colored toilet paper years ago because of dye in it.
Yes. Yes. But who knows? We may have a resurgence of something like that.
It's, you know, kind of something to people to talk about. Maybe you might not want it actually on your toilet paper roll, but you might want it, you know, sitting in front of the, wherever you look, right? A shelf.
Actually, I have seen that in some people's homes where they put that in the guest bath.
Yeah.
The powder room.
The powder room. There you go. Well, I just want to let y'all know that the Daily Reset for Success is here not only for you, but for us too, because we all need to reset our lives almost every day to make sure that we live healthier, happier, more prosperous, and all the different things that you're wanting in your life. Sometimes you have to reset. And I know for me that when I pop out of bed and I go, and if I can reset, here we go, right? Or if you're feeling kind of yucky the night before, you might want to reset during the night. You know, you could do maybe a meditation on how you're going to wake up the next morning, right? Anyway, we're here to bring you the most fantastic people, the most interesting topics about resetting your lives. And this is, I think, the third time Ricki's been here with us, right, Lady Lou?
I think so. We love her. Oh.
I don't know. I can't count. I only have 10 fingers.
It's okay. We'll have you again.
Yay. Okay.
Over to you, Lady Lou.
I really do love it.
Yeah.
Over to you, Lady Lou.
Hello, are you there? Well, Ricki, tell us a little bit about our doing our cleanse and how you've got it all set up. You've got some different things that people can get so that it'll help them, because we got to do this when we're home. So we're home right now. Let's get clean inside.
That's the advantage to being home. So people don't have to worry about, oh my goodness, I'll be in my car and I'll have this urge. The importance of the cleanse. It's interesting. I did a talk several years ago at one of the senior centers down. I think it's Fontenot. It's in the Bel Air area. Anyway, and one of the women who was from Jamaica, the island, said to me, yes, her mother used to say it's time to wash your body. And she meant internally. So that's where I got the title for this, washing your body from the inside, which I think is a great way to put it. And I know Karen's here. Hi, Karen. I love the positive words of inspiration to make you go. Perfect.
Thanks, Karen.
Yeah. And I hope today that I can impart some gentle information about why your body needs to release the internal sludge or gunk that builds up. And actually, Deepak Chopra, I loved his quote one day. At a talk that I heard him years ago, I think it was back in the 80s, he mentioned something about clearing out the ama, which is the Ayurvedic word for sludge or gunk that is in your system, and how important it is to clean it out and leave it clear, because you're releasing the toxic waste that your body has accumulated for years. And it actually helps to renew your whole system. It's like, if I could give you a couple of comparisons, it's how many times when you change your oil in your car have you been told that you need your filter changed because it collects all the garbage that runs through the car? Well, the liver, Your liver is the filter in your body. And that's a big part of doing the cleanse, is to help clean the liver. And there are supplements, and there is absolutely food that can help your body release the toxins and help renew your whole system. And I have a list of foods that I will put up on my Facebook page, as well as if anybody puts their emails in here in the comments, I'd be happy to send them to you. And Karen, you're already on the list to get those, and I appreciate your being here today. The other part of cleansing is it gives you more energy. It's like, as I say, cleaning out your car, or you know how when you have stop up in your kitchen sink, all the stuff you've been throwing down, even through the disposal, eventually the pipes get lined with junk and you have to clean it out. It's exactly what happens. We're a series of pipes and tubes. I mean, from starting with your mouth and going through your anus, there's a whole bunch of at least almost, 5 miles of tubes in there. Not quite. But your intestines, they're compressed and they squiggle. I have pictures of all that for anybody who's interested. But it's a tightly compressed system that has to be kept clean. And I can remember when I had a colonoscopy and I had a picture taken by the doctor who did it. He gave me 4 pictures of different passages in the colon. And it's a tube. It absolutely is a tube. It's like looking down, the pictures where you see this big tube and it gets smaller as it goes away from you. Well, basically, it changes size a little bit. It starts out with the small intestine, which your stomach empties into. And that's where a lot of your digestive processes go on, starting with the stomach, actually with your mouth. And then the small intestine leads into the colon or the large intestine. And all of that tubular stuff has to be clear. So you can actually, number 1, eliminate waste. Number 2, provide your body with the food and the nutrients that actually feed it, because they're absorbed through there.
Right.
And so that passageway, it's like your passageway to the store. If it isn't clear and it gets clogged up, what do?
You can't get through.
That's right. You can't get through. So basically that's it. And I truly believe that eating a daily regimen or weekly regimen of certain foods, like your deep green leafy greens, leafy green vegetables, because of the chlorophyll and they help absorb toxins. Food does a lot for us. And dandelion tea, yes, ma'am.
What are some of those other foods that you said would help us cleanse?
Okay, thank you for asking. Number 1 on the top of the list, believe it or not, is lemon water. How many of us drink water with lemon squeezed into it?
I do every morning.
Yep, every morning. I recommend either warm or hot water. I call it my hot lemonade in the morning. And what it does is it goes through your system and helps clear the accumulated stuff from laying down and sleeping, assuming most of us lay down and sleep. But it does help to flush your liver out. And also dandelion tea. And I don't make the tea very often. You can buy dandelion tea. I think Sprouts and Whole Foods have it. And I'm not sure if H-E-B doesn't have some as well, or Central Market. But dandelion tea is an ancient beverage, because dandelions, if you use them in a smoothie, fresh dandelion greens, and only get the organic ones in the stores. Somebody said to me, "Oh, you can go pick those on the golf course." And I said, thank you. I'd rather trust the organic ones that are in bunches in the stores. And you can put those in your smoothies. You can put them in salads. They're quite bitter for the most part, but that bitterness is part of what your body needs to stimulate the digestive juices. So that's a fun thing. And I put them in my smoothies, along with kale or any of the other leafy greens. Berries, blueberries are wonderful. Let's see, what else? Milk thistle tea. Has anybody ever heard of milk thistle? It's an herb.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I need to stop you for a minute, because
Sure.
My problem is I hear all this and then I go, now what was it I was supposed to do and when was I supposed to do it? I think I need, not that, you need to do this for me or anything, Ricki, but I think I need like Monday morning, do this. Monday afternoon, do this. Monday evening, do this. Tuesday, eat this,
You are in luck, Marian, because I just happen to have a whole book full of that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Here's your guide to how to do it.
Thank you.
And what foods you can eat. And also there are some supplements that you do need to take because it does help it. It helps to release the stuff that's stuck. I'll refer to it as gunk.
Now, this may not be in your valley work or anything, but what about the thing where you go in and they clean you out with a hose?
Colonoscopy?
Colonic.
No, colonics. Yes, colonics.
Yeah. Does that help, or is that just a way to suck your money out of you instead of food?
It helps. Well, it helps to a certain point because the infusion of water can only get so far into your intestines, and you want to clean thoroughly. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it even helps your stomach for digestive purposes to clean out. And so starting, with your mouth, of course, everybody, I hope, brushes their teeth and drinks water. Yeah, that helps.
And don't forget your zeal.
Oh, no, zeal, absolutely. I got mine in here. And here's my favorite thing from Marian. You and I visited the podcast people. I love it.
That's right.
Yep. So I do have my podcast, and I will put some of this on there. Yeah, it's the colon. What do you call them?
Colonic.
Colonics. Thank you. You can tell I had one. That was enough.
I'm like, I see, no.
No, they do work. It's important. If you feel as though you're at a point where you're having some problems and you're having some digestive problems and elimination problems, yes, I probably would recommend it and go to someone who is definitely certified and has experience in that area.
Well, I'm sorry to keep stopping you, but my mind is going 100 miles an hour here. So some of the things that you might experience if you're clogged up are?
Okay. Some of those things, the toxic things that you experience, everything from, digestive problems, headaches, fatigue.
Yeah.
You'll be prone to diabetes because your insulin isn't going to be able to work properly. You can have anything just joint problems, for example.
Joint pain.
Absolutely. Joint pain.
I think I'm starting to notice that when I'm eating badly, I have pain, but not right away. It seems to be a few days later.
But by the time that your food gets digested into your system and it starts to affect the whole system. I mean, people have experienced as I say, fatigue is one of the biggies, and a lack of energy, and the joint pain, headaches, very bad headaches. And I think sometimes, I don't know if migraines are connected to it, but I know that food affects migraines and allergies. And so those are a number of the different things that being toxic or having toxic stuff stuck in your system, and weight gain. Absolutely. Weight gain, because the body knows what to do with good food. For example, let's just take leafy greens for a change. If you're having a salad, with romaine and kale and tomatoes, and spinach and all the other wonderful leafy greens, your body knows what to do with those. When you start adding things from packaged and prepared foods that have names that are this long, that are hard to pronounce, with some of the chemicals and the additives and this food substitutes, that's where people get into trouble. And some of the things, and I hate to use, there's a certain cheese that's been used, or it's supposed to be a cheese, that's in a little yellow packet that's been used to make a number of different things, including mac and cheese and a few other things, that says prepared or processed cheese product. It's a cheese product. It's not really cheese.
Not really food.
It's not really food. No. It's things like that our body takes in and actually doesn't know what to do with it. So it stores it. And of course, where does it store it? Wherever we don't want it to be. Around our stomachs and around our legs and our hips.
And our arms.
Yes. And if it goes through your lips, why does it land on your hips? Yeah. So those are the things that you want to avoid if at all possible. Or, if you're going to have some things like have a pizza with tons of cheese and everything else on it, that's not an everyday meal. That's a once in a while treat for me. And I'll throw everything on it, including anchovies. And somebody I know doesn't like anchovies. But that's my half of the pizza.
That's right. There
but
you go.
if I'm using things like a basil pesto that I made, with olive oil, which is, by the way, one of the good things for you to eat. And it helps with cleansing. Yep. It is a secret weapon that aids in your liver function. And it's cold pressed. It should be cold pressed. And you can also have hemp seed oil or flaxseed oil. They provide your body with a liquid that kind of sucks up some of the toxins and helps remove it.
What about coconut oil?
Coconut oil as well. I think coconut it's a fattier oil that nutritionists go back and forth on the advantages of coconut oil. I happen to think it's wonderful. I cook with it. It has a high flash point, which means you can cook with it and saute with it. It's even higher than olive oil and avocado oil. I have a whole program on good fats and oils, and those are three of the good ones. The olive oil, walnut oil, avocado oil, and coconut, and not necessarily in any order. It's your preference, and of course, there's different flavors and tastes from each of them. And I find avocado oil, which also comes in a spray, which is great for cooking, has the least amount of flavor that transfers to the food. So that's a hint.
I love the flavor from coconut oil. It's so different.
Oh, yeah. And I found one that I actually eat with a spoon. It's a raw organic coconut oil. It's nature's, I'm not sure, it's got a little green leaf on the label, and I get it usually at Sprouts. Okay. Back to the other things, your leafy greens, does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Marian, did you have any other questions?
Of course, but I'm going to let you continue on. It's just important to me because I'm sure it's important to other people as well. Yeah. We just get caught up in, we're busy. Let's grab this, let's grab that. And the only way we can get away from that is to go to a fat farm where somebody feeds us. And we don't want to do that. Or we might want to do it. We might want to do it, but,
No. No. By the way,
go ahead.
Fat doesn't make you fat.
Well,
certain kinds of fat does not make you fat. Yes. It's the carbs and the sugar that do it. For the most part, this is very simplistic, but yes.
I don't know if you happen to have seen it, but last week we had on a lady who had lost 100 pounds, and she was like 5'1", and she was like 250 pounds, and so she was like, I've got to do something. So all she did was count her carbs. Mm-hmm. She just went way down on the carbs, and she was able to lose 100 pounds in a year.
Wow.
Yep. Interestingly, there's a book that's been out for years, Life Without Bread. It's written by 2 doctors. And what they're talking about is restricting your carbs. Basically, the basic premise of the book. And it's true, you can have a little bit, but you have to be really conscious of what you're eating. And my premise is I'll help you go to the grocery store and only buy that which will work for you. And if that works, Marian, we can take a trip to wherever. And that's really what I recommend. And I used to do shopping tours and take people through, it's like the book that's eat this, don't eat that. And it's like, buy this, don't buy that. It's the same type of thing, because you can go buy beets and carrots, and you can go buy grapefruit or turmeric or walnuts or garlic and all of those good things that help your body to stay clean and help cleanse it. Or you can go buy tons of potatoes and potato chips and packaged and processed foods that have all the rest of the junk in it that adds to your junk. So it's a choice.
Junk in the trunk.
Yep, junk in the trunk. You betcha. You put junk in the trunk and the car will collapse. That's how I feel. Okay, what other questions do you have? Because the foods that I'm talking about are also high in vitamins and minerals, and most of us are more deficient in minerals than we are in vitamins. And now with the pandemic and the whole idea of what's going on, I have been recommending boosting your vitamin C intake, and you can do that with things like your citrus fruits, papaya, which is very high in vitamin C, and it's not as acidic as the citrus fruits if you have trouble with that. And most of the citrus fruits, when they're in your system, become alkaline, which is hard for people to understand, because a lemon sure doesn't taste alkaline. It tastes pretty tart and like it's acidic. But in your system, it helps in alkalizing your system. But you want the acidic in your stomach for digestion. And that's where combining the different foods together in a regimen that is not very difficult. You just buy the foods that you need and grab those. This morning, I put out some papaya. I threw some in my smoothie with some kale. I used almond coconut milk. I also tossed in some protein powder, and that was my breakfast. And it really was delicious. I actually went outside and sat in the shade. And it's very filling as well. And if you need to chew, just grab some more of the food. I grabbed another piece of papaya. And I also used the seeds in the papaya. I know that sounds weird, but if you've ever opened up a papaya, have you, either of you?
A big seed.
Little teeny black balls.
Oh, those.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a pomegranate.
But no, that's a little different. Pomegranates are good too, but papaya has what look like little black balls.
Oh, like
They're
BBs?
teeny tiny.
Little BBs.
They're like BBs. Yes, thank you. And they are anti-parasitic, which that's the other things that a cleanse will help. If you are craving sweets, if you are craving certain foods, and if you're ballooning in different areas, they can cause rashes. That's another thing that toxicity can cause. Parasites are insidious, and I'm not saying that everybody has them. However, there's a great percentage of us that I really feel as though they need a parasite cleanse, and it can take a 30-day cleanse, depending on where they're situated. And usually they like to be in your intestines, because that's where they get fed all the good foods with the sugars and everything else. So one of the things that the cleansing does is to help rid your body of these nasty little critters who are eating what you should be eating and loving it more. And then they're eating the things that you don't want, and they're getting fat and happy inside you. Yeah, I know that. I know that's a scary thing.
Oh, so is there an easy cleanse? You said it's a 30-day cleanse. Is it written down? This is what you're going to send people?
Yes, that will be on there. That'll be on the Facebook page. And the whole point in this is that the 10-day cleanse is excellent, because it does help detox your system and free you from the headaches and give you more energy, and really helps your appetite, because it starts to clear out the stuff that's been keeping you kind of depressed. It can also cause depression.
Ooh.
The 30-day cleanse, actually, I prefer that, because by the time one is finished with that, and eating certain different foods, perhaps things that you hadn't eaten a lot of before, it starts a whole new set of habits. And those habits become a lifestyle. And that's really the key to keeping your body cleansed and keeping it clean and staying free of depression, joint pain, fatigue, and weight gain.
Well, I have found when I do cleanses, my taste buds change and I no longer crave sweets or salt.
Exactly.
Salt's one of my big ones.
Yes,
And
me too.
It's a good benefit.
Yep. It does help, as I said, with the cravings, especially for anything that's sugary. And if you're thinking of sugary as things like candy and donuts and pastries and things like that, there's also sugar in bread. Any grain contains natural sugar. Now, I'm not saying that's where the Life Without Bread book got its title. It's talking about grains. And a lot of people don't realize that they're having problems with grains and gluten, because sometimes grains can be very hard to digest. And with something like that happening, they're not getting totally digested, and they're pulling out of your system the energy that you need. And they're landing again where we don't want them. They're being stored. So I know it's not a pleasant topic, but actually once you get through it, you'll feel great.
Yeah.
So
And
2 questions. One is, seems to me you're talking about a cleanse where you do nothing but this cleanse. And then in between the cleanses, you're doing things that keep yourself cleaner and healthier.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So are you recommending the 30-day cleanse for people who are suffering or for everybody?
That's kind of an everybody thing, simply because along with the cleanse, you get protein powder, you get Zeal actually with that one. And you get something called Burn, which is a metabolism boost. It's a capsule, and another capsule called Cleanse, which is an herbal combination that helps rid your system of all the stuff we've been talking about. And it's gentle because you do it a little bit at a time. And as you do it a little bit, your body becomes accustomed to it. And as you said, Lady Lou, your taste buds will change because you're eating differently, and you're finding that those different foods are much more satisfactory and are contributing more to energy rather than fatigue.
Yes.
And does that help, Marian?
Yeah. Now, we do have an audience member, Peggy, who wants to ask a question about kale. She hates it. She just doesn't like it at all. She just likes it. She wants to know, is there a substitute?
I'll have some spinach. Spinach, Swiss chard, which may be a little bit more bitter, but you can use it in the same way. I have several recipes using the Swiss chard for a soup that's great. It's actually uses Swiss chard, zucchini, leeks, and basil. And it's an absolutely phenomenal cold or hot soup. There's really no substitute for kale, but my suggestion is, as I do for some people, put it in your smoothie with your protein powder, with some berries or other fruit, and it just gets involved in there.
It gets hidden.
Does that help?
Yeah. Another thing that I do with the kale, which I think is really cool, is I put it in a bowl with a little bit of olive oil, put it on a cookie sheet, and put it in the oven, and it makes it real crispy like potato chips.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
That's kale chips.
Kale.
Yeah, it's kale chips.
Try it, or have Karen try it for you.
Yeah, Karen, you can try that one. Yeah. I would recommend getting the lacinato kale for that. It's a little firmer kale. It's a long, skinny leaf that's kind of bumpy. And it's easy to cut or rip into pieces. And then any green like that, you can do that on a cookie sheet. And I recommend just sprinkle it with olive oil or avocado oil. I put a little garlic on mine and some salt and pepper, and right in the oven, and it doesn't take long, and it crisps it up.
Yep. A low oven, right?
You can put it in on 300.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just kind of keep an eye on it.
Yeah. Lady Lou, you're good at that.
Well, I have to watch my food cooking in the oven because I tend to overcook.
Uh-oh, no, you have to watch that because you will have burnt kale.
Yeah.
And that's not very tasty. And I
No.
just see what Karen put in. That's an excellent book. No Grain, No Pain is Dr. Osborn, who happens to be in, yeah, great. Thank you for sharing that. He's in Sugarland.
Uh-huh.
And he and I are well acquainted. He's very, very adamant about no grains. And for those of you out there who are gluten sensitive or celiac, as Dr. Tom O'Brien says, a little sliver of a fingernail's worth of gluten can trigger a really bad experience in some people who are sensitive to gluten. Yeah.
And Karen says she can't even sneak kale into her food without her knowing about
I
it.
get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, in that case, I'll try to help you there, Karen, but we can talk about that.
Well,
I'd love to.
This has been so wonderful, Ricki. I know why we bring you back, because you've always got such good information for us and our viewers, and we just want to thank you for doing that. So would
Thank
you tell them your website and spell it out for our podcast audience,
Okay.
if you would?
It's now RickiMcKenna.com. It's RickiMcKenna.com. And it will be undergoing a shift very shortly to Mchealthy.com,
Okay.
which I am a certified coach. And I thought, why am I not out there? Because if you don't know my name, you won't find me. And so that's why I'm using the Mchealthy, CoachMchealthy.com. But right now it's at RickiMcKenna.com. And my email is Ricki@RickiMcKenna.com.
Perfect. So they can contact you with any questions and stuff.
Absolutely. Any
There's
questions,
so much more.
ideas?
We got to do this again because we didn't get half through what we were hoping to get through.
I kept interrupting her with all my stupid questions, but
No, they're good.
hey.
Just think clean food, and it'll help clean your body. And if you want a list of clean food, that'll be on the website, and that'll be also on my Facebook page. I'm going to post all of that on the Facebook page.
And your Facebook is just Ricki McKenna?
Yes, Ricki.McKenna.
McKenna.
I put the link in there someplace.
Yes, it's down below there.
Down below.
Yes,
So
thank you, Marian.
You can see it on the replays. Well, thank you again. And thank you, Marian, for all your good work. And we are so appreciative of our audience and Peggy and Karen and their comments. And we'd love to have more of you comment. So you can do that live. And it's fun to interact with our audience. So thank you again for being here. Watch the replays, share it with your friends, and we love you all. Bye for now.
Thank you.
And remember, create a fantastic day for yourself. You can do it.
Yes.
I have